I think it's safe to say that Wave 5 of the Mario Kart Booster Course Pass is an absolute masterpiece. It saw the return of several fan-favorite characters, plenty of amazing new retro tracks, and even a brand new one as well. And yes, I know I'm a little late to the party, but it's like I always say, better late than never. I say as I drink my 2-week-old expired milk. So as we near the end of the Booster Course Pass, let's rank all of the tracks from Wave 5 from worst to best. I'll mainly be focusing on how creative the tracks are, how they compare to their original counterparts, and anything else I find interesting about them. So without further ado, get those karts revved up folks, cause it's time for the countdown! In today's last place spot, we have GBA Sunset Wilds. Now here's a track that I was honestly pretty excited for, but wasn't too thrilled with once I finally got around to it. The main problem is that it doesn't do a whole awful lot. There's some dash panels here and there, and even a few elevation changes, but I honestly don't find any of these features to be too lasting. This course is incredibly flat, and just doesn't do a whole lot to stand out on its own. Everything here feels like it's been done to death before, and isn't memorable in the slightest. I do really like all of the Shy Guys dancing in the middle of the road now. It's just a shame they don't latch onto your cart anymore. But the biggest downgrade to this track, in my opinion, is the time of day. I mean, just take a look at what happens when you cross over the finish line. Did you see that? Exactly, you didn't, because nothing happened. Back in Super Circuit, the time of day would gradually change as you go from lap to lap. This was a really cool touch because it really emphasized that this is indeed a sunset. It was even like this in the Mario Kart Tour version, but here, it just stays the same across all 3 laps. How is the original rendition of this course from over 20 years ago more superior than its modern day counterpart? I can't imagine it be that hard to change the color of the skybox, and if it is, why'd he get special treatment? Look, this is still far from a bad track, and I mean really far. But because of the historical inaccuracies and the frankly boring level design, I'm going to have to give this one a 2-star review. You know where I've always wanted to go? Woohoo Island, with Los Angeles being a close 17th. Still, Tour Los Angeles Laps is a track I've been wanting to come over for a while now. I remember playing it back when it first came out and absolutely loving all of the different versions. So seeing it finally make the jump into glorious HD was something truly special. I remember racing home, booting it up, and this is just okay. As a Mario Kart Tour track back in 2020, this was pretty good. As a Mario Kart 8 track nowadays, this is a joke. I'll at least give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's not bad. The only problem is it's not great either. I don't know what it is, but this track just feels botched. It's like they tried to do something new and exciting with this course, but ended up saying, you know what'd be funny? And it's a shame too, because this track has a lot of really cool ideas, like driving along the beach and flying over Dodger Stadium. Yet every time I play this track, I almost find myself being bored. There's just so many parts where it's just long stretches of road with nothing of note happening. Like if I want that, I'll just go out driving in real life. Because as it stands, there just isn't enough here to keep me interested. Why couldn't there be a part where you head inside the LA Convention Center? That would have been a neat little throwback to Nintendo's history here. They could have had you drive through their E3 display, and there could have been so many little references, and it could have been so cool! Oh. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. At number 6 on this list, we have Tour Athens Dash. Finally, a track with some meat on its bones. This course is one of the more recent additions to Mario's mobile extravaganza, so to see it now in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe isn't necessarily the shocker of the year. But hey, Nintendo did a far better job remaking this track than with Los Angeles Laps, mainly because they actually did something with it. This course has so much going on and just feels so lively. Whether it's driving through the Parthenon, circling around the Theater of Dionysus, or even dodging boulders up the Acropolis. Every single step of the way is filled with so much charm that's undeniably unmatched. I mean, the amount of shortcuts and extra features make this course far more memorable than most of the other tour ones. Even the music is especially good. I honestly think this song tops some of the ones from the base game for its use of horns alone. All I can say is that if Socrates could see this, he'd certainly be proud of what's been made of his homeland.
Perfection.
Number 5. Wii Koopa Cape. I think I need to check my notes. Okay, Mario Kart Wii is my favorite Mario Kart game of all time. This is common knowledge by now, it's in all the history books. So why then do I not find this remake of one of my favorite tracks from that game not nearly as much as I thought I would? Well, the only way to answer that is with a hearty, I don't know. Look, I love the original Koopa Cape. It's amazing, it's fantastic, it's like a second home to me. But this one, for some reason, just doesn't click with me. There's something about this remake that just feels off, and I honestly don't have a single clue as to why. There isn't anything truly awful about this course as far as I'm aware, and there's plenty of parts they updated that definitely improve it over the original. From things like removing the old glide ramp and adding a half pipe to the underwater section. These things make the track feel so much more lively. They aren't necessarily game changers, but they do help this version to stand out on its own. And besides, the remix isn't half bad as well. Of course it's not as good as the original, but it's still a bop. At the end of the day, I don't think I'll ever know why I despise this remake as much as I do. I could say it's because I'm tired of Nintendo constantly remaking this course and not changing nearly enough about it to make it substantial. I could say that. But I won't! Nintendo can recycle this track as many times as they like, and I wouldn't care! I should know, I'm still drinking expired milk. Remember back in Paper Mario the Origami King when there was that mission where you had to go on that cruise ship to find Bobby's fuse and fight off Gooper Blooper? Those were fun times. Well, I'm happy to report that that level has been turned into its very own Mario Kart track. I know I just made a lot of you really upset, but you have to admit, I was going somewhere with that. But anyways, GCN Daisy Cruiser is a fan favorite for many, myself included. And although it wasn't at the top of my Booster Course Pass wishlist, I'm still really happy it's here because this is definitely the best rendition of this course to date. I mean, it's got everything people loved about the original. The moving tables from the dining hall, the pool that you can drive through on the top deck, that not-so-secret shortcut underneath the boat. Everything is back and better than ever in glorious Mario Kart 8 fashion. But aside from having an updated color palette, there really isn't too much that's changed. It isn't the biggest deal in the world or anything, but I would have liked if they had at least changed something. Then again, it is a go-kart track on a cruise ship, so who am I to judge?
Perfection.
Number 3. Wii Moonview Highway. Now that's what I'm talking about! This is a track that I really wanted to see come back, but didn't think it was likely due to how many Mario Kart Wii tracks were in the game already. But Nintendo delivered in one of the most incredible ways possible. First up, oh man does this track look good. Maybe it's just me, but I think this track looks incredible. Way better than most of the other tracks in the Booster Course Pass, that's for sure. It could pass for a model. Second, I love how it's so much easier to hit all of the dash panels now. It was possible in the original, but unless you were a TASBot, you probably weren't going to pull it off. Now it's way easier to do, and is much more fun since you get to go super fast. One other thing I'd like to note is how much easier this course is compared to the Wii one. It feels like there's a lot less traffic on the road, which definitely makes this version feel a bit easier. It's really up to your preference as to which difficulty you like, but personally, I like pain. Oh, and I love how Nintendo brought back the bomb cars just for this track. I was actually pretty surprised that they did that. This remake is as close to perfect as I think it can get. While it doesn't necessarily replace the original, it definitely matches it in terms of quality and flashiness.
Jetson, get off the toilet! We have to start coming up with ideas for those new Mario Kart tracks!
Sorry boss, I'll be out in a minute.
Hey, I've got an idea!
And that's how Squeaky Clean Sprint was born. Okay, I think we all need to stop and appreciate the genius of this level. The concept of turning a literal bathroom into a racetrack is so creative that I don't think anything could ever top it. Seriously. You start off by driving through a sink full of water, and then hopping into a bathtub filled with goodies. Then you get sucked down the drain, and you have to travel through the pipes while driving through other people's filth. Then you get shot out and have to go around this fan that's blowing everything, and you can trick off the toilet water, and it's perfect! The layout is simple, but everything about it is just so unique! Nintendo really went all out with the theming here, because every little detail has so much charm. I just love seeing all of the Easter eggs in the background. It's been quite a while since we've seen a track as special as this one, and I think Nintendo did an amazing job with it. Plus, there's so many shortcuts that each lap almost feels like a completely different experience. There aren't many tracks that can pull that off, and I find that to be extremely commendable. This is a Mario Kart track that you will never forget due to just how fun and creative it really is. Back when the trailer for Wave 5 first came out, I wasn't really sure which new track was going to be my favorite. However, I did not anticipate that the one I'd end up liking the most would be... what? Tour Vancouver Velocity. I'd played this track a few times several years ago and completely forgotten about its existence. But when I played it again in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, woo! This course is amazing! I was not expecting to be so blown away by a Mario Kart Tour track, but it happened! Everything about it is just so thrilling! I've played this course over and over again, and I still find myself enjoying it just as much as the first time I laid eyes on it. I guess the first thing I have to bring up is the fact that it takes place in the same city as the best Mario and Sonic at the Olympics Games! But even better are the places you'll drive through. How about driving along the Capilano Suspension Bridge, traveling under the Vancouver Olympics Cauldron, and even dodging ice skating Shy Guys in Rogers Arena? And the bright city lights combined with the bountiful stars above only add to the experience. Everything here is just perfect. I did not ever think that a Mario Kart Tour track would ever make it to the top of one of these lists, but I'll be darned. Tour Vancouver Velocity is somehow the best track from Wave 5 of the Booster Course Pass. You done good, Canada. You done good. Can you believe that there's only one wave left of the Booster Course Pass? It's hard to believe that it's already almost over. So my question for you all today is, which tracks do you want to see in the final wave? Let me know down below, and we'll see which of you ends up being correct. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, see ya!